Another fluid that can be used is semen. And in love magic, it's used to attract and increase passion and sexual desire in the target. It might be used to make someone more attracted to them, or to make them seem like maybe the person does not see them as attractive, and they can use their semen to cause that person to see them as being attractive, and make that person, if that person wants, say the person wants to have sex with this woman, then he can use his semen to get that woman to desire him sexually. Or if he wants to have a relationship with that woman, he can use his semen in that way as well. If he wants to bind her to him, he can use his semen. Make her obsessed with him, desire him, whether it's sexually or emotionally. We can use it to have her mentally obsessed. So semen can be used in that way as well. It has the man's DNA. So if a woman is drinking something or eating something that has his semen in it, she's ingesting a part of this man. And in doing so, she now has an energetic tie to this person, and he can manipulate her in whatever way he intends to do that, in whatever way he intends to do that, whether it's sexually, emotionally, mentally, or all three. He can use his bodily fluid to have control over this woman. So they can use it to attract, manifest, or make them more desirable to their woman of interest. Sperm carries the DNA of the man. It contains information. So a practitioner can put its intent into the sperm to be carried out by the person ingesting it. So they can program their sperm to attract a person, control a person, basically. All of these fluids are used to control because they're using their personal essence and putting it into you or on items that belong to you, even if you're not wearing it. If you've worn it, your energy is on it. Your energy is within a photo. That's why some cultures don't like to take pictures, because of that. So sperm can be used, to control the person that warlock wants to have. In love magic, if they want to have that person sexually, they can use their sperm. If they want to control that person's mind and emotions, they can use their sperm. And they can also put it on items that belong to that person, put it in areas where that person is going to spend a lot of time in. You know, like I said, you could put it in their home, you know, on the bed, under the bed, like anywhere that person is going to spend time and be around, where they can have access to that energy. And that warlock can use their sperm to and that person, from either wearing the item or being in the vicinity of that sperm, as a energetic tie, an energetic link to that person, to manipulate that person and cause that person to desire them. A guy can also do love magic while you give a head, ladies. You know, he can be doing some type of spell while you doing that. And if you like to swallow, you know, he done programmed that sperm to, you know, do its magic. And next thing you know, you head over heels in love, and you know, you acting all crazy, ready to fight and cut somebody. You ready to blow up people's cars and do all kind of crazy stuff, you know, because you done swallowed that magic sperm. You gotta be careful. You really do. Know who you're with. So another fluid that can be used in love magic is saliva. So saliva comes from our mouth, and our mouths are used for speech, right? So the purpose of using saliva, you know, has to do with influencing the target with their words. The witch or the warlock will use their saliva. See, a lot of these fluids are used because of what they symbolize. You know, that's how people use tools in magic. It's all about symbolism, you know. And saliva symbolizes, because it comes from our mouth, speech. You know, even like rappers and stuff, when they talking about, you know, their rap and stuff, they say what they say. They spitting, right? Because that's a symbol. That slang, spit, is talking about words. What's coming out of their mouth? They spitting. And sometimes when we speak, spit does come out of our mouth. So saliva is symbolic of speech and influence. So if they're trying to influence you through their words, they'll use saliva so that their words can have dominance over you, so that they can persuade you through their communication and bind you to them. You know, to enhance the power of their spells, when they're speaking and saying things. In their spell work, it enhances the power of their words in their spells, their incantations, the things that they speak during their rituals. For example, saliva might be used to seal a spell to make the person, more accepting to the witch or warlock's words or actions. You know what I mean? Like they may say something to that person, and that phrase may cause that person, like say they might during their ritual use that saliva, and then say when they say this to this person, it's going to cause that person to open up to them and desire them. And then they go ahead and they talk to that person and they say that certain phrase, and they might even have saliva on their hand, a little bit of saliva on their hand. They touch that person and they say that phrase, and then the next thing you obsessed and in love with this person, or you just like you feel compelled to do whatever this person wants you to do. They have like this strong influence over you now. So saliva is, another way that they can control you doing, their love magic or whatever. They can do it through kissing. You tongue kissing somebody, you're exchanging bodily fluid, you're exchanging spit. And so they can perform a love magic ritual through a kiss. You slopping it down with somebody and you won't even know that they doing a love spell over you while you kissing them, while you tonguing them down. You know what I'm saying? In their mind, they're thinking that their spit, like when you taking their spit in through kissing them, that you're going to fall in love with them. You're going to desire them and only them. They're going to be able to control you and get you to do whatever they want you to do. That you're not going to want any other person but them. Like, all of these thoughts can be going on in their mind while they're kissing you. And you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So the next vaginal, that's because I'm thinking about the next fluid that I'm about to talk about, which is vaginal fluids, vaginal secretions. You know what I'm saying? That's another bodily fluid that can be used in love magic. They can use vaginal fluid when they're trying to get someone to be sexually attracted to them. Because you think about it, ladies, when we are sexually aroused, what happens? We get wet, right? And we start secreting vaginal fluid. So that is a symbol of sexual desire. And that can be used by a witch in love magic. So if a woman wants a man sexually. She wants him to become sexually obsessed with her or whatever, or to desire her sexually. She can use her vaginal fluids. Towards that person. She can use it to, in the same ways that the blood, the semen, the urine, and all saliva, all of the bodily fluids can be used in the same way and for the same purposes. They pretty much can. But depending on which warlock wants to use it for will depend on what they use, which one they use, But anyway, a woman can use her vaginal fluids in the same way she can put it in your food, in your drink, on your items, your clothing, your personal items, in your home, anywhere that you're going to be spending a lot of time in, and she can use it to control and manipulate you, to get you to desire her, to make her more magnetic, and have you see her in the way that she desires you to see her. So the last bodily fluid that I'm going to mention is breast milk. Yeah, breast milk. The use of breast milk, even though it is manipulative, the intent behind it is not a good intent, because you shouldn't be using any form of magic to control people. But they will use it to cause the person of interest to have this affectionate, loving connection with them. They want to nourish or strengthen an emotional bond between them and another person. They might be in a relationship and they want to use it to nourish and strengthen that bond. Now, it's one thing if you are in a relationship with somebody and they consent to that. They're like, I want to be, I want us to be, I want to, our connection, I want to strengthen our connection. I want to, if they want that, if they are okay with that, then, you both are consenting. But if you are going behind someone's back and you are trying to manipulate someone's will, you're going against a person's free will to choose you and to desire you, and you're doing this behind their back, then that's wrong. But if a man wants, he wants some of his breast milk or whatever, and he's like, I want to form a deeper connection with you or whatever, then fine. Whatever y'all choose to do, that's between y'all. But if you're trying to manipulate somebody against their will and you're trying to use bodily fluids, it's wrong. And you will get karma for that. Yes, you will. The law of cause and effect will come and get your ass. And you will pay for what you've done. That's the laws of the universe. And these witches and warlocks obviously don't believe in karma because they do this dumb shit and they think that they're going to get away with it. But then when it backfires, for some reason they don't think that it's the laws of the universe. I don't know what they're thinking, but they keep doing it. So obviously they don't believe in karma. So whatever, anyway. Maybe eventually they will. And maybe eventually they'll believe that God exists too. Like, it's not a coincidence that you keep getting your ass whooped by your spell work. It keeps backfiring on you. But you still don't believe God exists. And you still don't believe that there are spiritual laws that you have to follow. Maybe one day. Maybe one day they'll get it anyway. Yes, breast milk can be used by witches to create a loving, nurturing bond between them and the person they're either in a relationship with or the person they desire to have a relationship with. It can also be used to create dependency, like codependency. If they want a person to be codependent on them, they can use breast milk in their spells to cause that person to become emotionally attached to them, where they feel like they need this person in their life. And so if they want to have this person attached to them and feeling a need to have them in their life, they want to have like this mother-child bond where this person feels like they, just like a child needs their mother, they want to create that same type of bond and link. They can use breast milk for that. So those are some of the bodily fluids that I could think of that can be used in negative magic love spells. So just be very careful about what you consume, who you're dealing with sexually, having people into your home, entering other people's homes, taking gifts from people. You just have to be very careful. And I'm not trying to get people to be paranoid, but you really have to be careful about these type of things because this stuff is real and people do these type of things. I know it sounds crazy because it is crazy. It is crazy, and the people that do it are crazy. Like, they have some serious issues that they need to heal from, and they got a lot of shadow work to do. But anyway, you got to be careful. You got to really, really be careful. Yeah, I would pray over everything. Like, if you get something from family, friends, people that you trust, like anything that you receive from someone, I would pray over those things. Pray over everything and ask the divine to bless it and remove any negative energy, any negative magic, negative intent that was placed on whatever you receive. Before you eat anything or drink anything, pray over it and ask the divine to bless it and remove any negative energy that may be attached to it, any curse, any hex, whatever negativity that was attached to it. Remove it, cleanse it, purify it, and make it safe for you to consume. If it is a gift, do the same thing. Ask the divine to remove any negative energy, any negative magic that may have been placed on that item, and purify it, cleanse it, and make it safe to wear. Because even though we may trust people, you don't know a person's true intentions. And I've been around a lot of people that I thought I could trust, and these were the very people that were doing negative magic on me. And so you may think that you can trust people, but you don't know. And so just to be safe, it's good to just pray over everything that you receive, even things that you buy at the store. If you get, especially like stuff that you might get like from a thrift store, stuff that people previously owned, and you bring it to your home, bless it. Like I have an oil that I have anointed, and I use to anoint things and to bless certain things. But you don't even have to do that. You can just pray and ask the divine to cleanse, energetically cleanse. You can use sage. It's so many things that you can do. And the thing is, people use all these different tools to do things. But the most powerful tool that you have is your mind. The mind is all. The universe is mental. That's a universal law. That's the law of mentalism. That's just basically letting you know that your mind is divine. Your mind is powerful. We create and manifest through the power of our mind. And when your mind is strong and your will is strong, you don't really need any tools. Or you can just create your own tools. It's basically whatever resonates with you. I mentioned some things, but you don't have to do that. Whatever resonates with you. You can even pray to divine and say, how can I do this? How can I cleanse this? What should I do? It's really it's not one size fits all type thing. It's like Burger King. You know what I mean? Have it your way. Do what resonates with you. If it resonates with you, that means it's for you. If it resonates with you, it resonates with you for a reason. So do what resonates with you. What resonates with one person is not going to resonate with somebody else. So whatever feels right to you, as far as cleansing things energetically and praying over stuff, like whatever you feel is right for you, then do that. because it's the power of your mind that is going to have an effect on whatever it is that that you're doing. I know a lot of you have heard of the placebo effect. The placebo effect, to me, is absolute proof of how powerful the mind is and how we create through the power of our mind. Because if a doctor can give, this is how they test the efficacy of medications. If a doctor can give a group of people a sugar pill and another group of people the actual medicine, and you have people who take the sugar pill and are well, it's just a sugar pill. It has no medicine in it at all. How is it that they got well? Was it the sugar pill? No. It was their belief that what they were taking was actual medicine. They believed that sugar pill was the medication that the doctor was giving them. And because they believed it, they healed their own bodies. The sugar pill didn't do nothing. It was their faith in the sugar pill that caused them to heal. So that dang, why I forget? The placebo effect is proof that your mind creates your reality. It proves that your mind is the powerhouse to manifestation. So if a person can heal themselves by believing that a sugar pill is medicine, then you can use the power of your mind and create whatever remedy that you want to cleanse something energetically. You don't have to use sage. You don't have to use Palo Santo. You can just use your mind and imagine that whatever you're touching, whatever energy that was placed on there is removed. If you believe it strongly enough, just like the people that took the sugar pill believed that it was medicine, then it will happen. I'm not really into rituals and stuff. Sometimes I might come up with something, but if it resonates with me, I might make up something. But that's what it is. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? You can create your own rituals. You can do your own thing. As long as you believe it's going to work, it will. So, just do what resonates with you. I'm just giving you suggestions, but you don't have to listen to me. You do what resonates with you. You know what I'm saying? Pray to the divine and ask for help. I'm all about, relying on God and getting help from the divine. And, do that. All the answers are within you. If God is within you, then all the answers are within you also. So go within and ask the divine, what should you do? But I do believe that it is necessary to cleanse everything that you receive, because you don't know, where it's coming from. If anyone has done anything, to it, and you don't even know. You may think that you know the people that are in your life, but you'd be surprised at what people can hide from you. So, I'm not saying, don't, I'm not trying to make people paranoid. Just alert and aware that it's possible. It's possible that the person that you're trusting could be a witch or a warlock. It's possible. And just to protect yourself, I'm not saying, don't eat from the people that you trust, and don't drink anything that they give you. If these are people that you are in relationship with, you trust them. I'm not saying don't eat or drink anything from them, but I would definitely pray over stuff. You know what I mean? If you're in front of these people, that's something that's common. People pray over their food and drink. If they're giving you something, you can take it and then in your mind pray over it or whatever, or go somewhere private and pray over it. Imagine whatever negative energy that may be placed in it removed, or however you want to, whatever you feel led to do to remove any negative energy from it. Go ahead and do that. But I feel like that's necessary, because you really don't know the intentions of people, and you should take precaution. All right. So any other type of ways? Oh yes, dreams. Yes. I almost forgot. Dreams. That is another way that they can manipulate your energy. They can use dreams. There are some people that they know how to enter people's dreams, and they can have you dream about them. They can manipulate your dreams to where you're married to them, or something happens in a dream where it comes off as if you're meant to be with this person. They might make it seem like it's in the dream it's a divine message that you're supposed to be with this person, and you don't even want to be with this person, but you keep dreaming about them. So you're thinking, oh, well, if I keep dreaming about this person, maybe God wants me to be with this person. Not knowing that this person is, manipulating you in the dream realm and causing you to have these dreams about them and make you think that this is some type of divine message. It's people out here that know how to do that kind of stuff. And, if you don't have the discernment to know this, you could easily be fooled and think that this person is your person. That's the person you're supposed to be with, when it really isn't. So dreams is another way that they can use, do love magic through the dream realm. Okay. I was just thinking, another thing to be careful about is physical touch, because people they can put spell work on you by just touching you, shaking your hand, putting their arm around you, putting their hand on your shoulder, like any kind of physical touch, you got to be careful. I'm not saying don't shake people's hands, don't have any physical contact with people, but be careful about especially strangers, like people that you don't know that well, and they want to be all touchy-feely on you and stuff. You gotta be careful about that. But I would, and this is what I do, because I'm not trying to walk around, not being paranoid and stuff and worrying about some people touching me. You know what I mean? Like if somebody shakes my hand or gives me a pound or something, I make sure. This is what I do. Before I even leave my house, I set the intention that any kind of physical contact that I have with anybody, if there is any negative magic attached to it or negative intent, that it will be transmuted and turned into blessings and positivity in my life, or whatever you want to say to make sure that any physical contact that you have with somebody, is going to benefit you, and there's going to be no harm to you from that physical contact. You come up with whatever terminology that you want to use to protect yourself, because people they have a lot of creative ways to do this negative magic, and you have to protect your energy. You really do. And I just thought about that because I had an experience one time with love magic, somebody that had put his hand on my shoulder, and this was somebody that typically didn't do that. This was a professional relationship here, and this person put their hand on my shoulder, and all of a sudden it was like, I started seeing him completely different. Now, I was attracted to this person, I ain't gonna lie, he was fine. But I didn't see him in that way. I saw him in a professional way. But after that, and this was something that he never did. He never put his hand on my shoulder. He did it more than one time. And I didn't think about it until years later, after I learned about, this love magic crap and, all this negative magic and this different stuff that they do. And I thought about this situation and my behavior and how I felt about him and how I was acting and stuff, and it just wasn't normal, And then I thought about he was doing a lot of physical contact. So, I was like, I really believe that this person did some type of love spell on me. So you really have to watch out and be careful. You got to protect your energy. You know what I mean? You have to assume that any person can be a witch or a warlock. It doesn't mean that you walk around paranoid, but you just protect yourself, because you don't know. You protect your energy. You set out intentions before you walk the house of, what you will and will not allow energetically. Come up with whatever ritual, whatever, routines that you resonate with, that is going to help you to protect yourself. If you want to wear certain crystals, do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to use sage spray or Palo Santo spray or some type of protection spray, do that. The important thing is that you believe that you, I don't even want to say believe, that you know it's going to work. Like if you know, you know what I'm saying, you don't have any doubt. And that is what's really going to protect you, because, you know, it's all in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your mind makes it real. And so, you know, whatever resonates with you, you know, do that. But there are certain things that you can do that are going to automatically raise your vibration.